In this part of the video, we come to the final two Dhyāna Shlokas, Shloka 6 and 7. These beautiful verses conclude the meditative invocation before we begin our journey into the main body of the Vishnu Sahasranama. Let's first listen to the verses. Dhyāna Shlokas 6 and 7. Chāyāyām Parijātsya simhasanopari आसीनम ambuda-śyāmam ayataksham alankritam Chandrananam chaturbahum srivatsankita vakshasam Rukmani satyabhamabhyam sahitam Krishnam ashraye. These two verses share a powerful and common theme. Krishnam ashraye. I take refuge in Lord Krishna. The rest of these verses paint a divine portrait of Krishna, majestic, serene, adorned and surrounded by love. Let's begin with the first line. Chāyāyām Parijātsya means in the shade of the Pārijāta tree. The Pārijāta tree is not just any tree. It is a celestial tree with deep symbolic and mythological significance. This beautiful small tree bears delicate, fragrant flowers with snow-white petals and a reddish-orange stalk. These flowers bloom only at night and they fall to the ground before sunrise. This night blooming flower is commonly known as the coral jasmine or Pārijāta. Interestingly, the fallen flowers are still considered pure enough to be offered in prayer. This is a unique feature in our tradition. But why is it called a sorrowful flower? There is a touching mythological story behind it. According to one legend, Princess Pārijāta fell in love deeply with the sun god, but her love was unreturned. Heartbroken, she took her own life, and from her ashes rose the Pārijāta tree. Because she couldn't bear the sight of her beloved during the day, the tree blooms at night and sheds its fragrant flowers before sunrise, as though in tears. Another popular story about the Pārijāta tree is linked to Krishna and his two consorts, Rukmini and Satyabhama. The tree originally belonged to Indraloka, the celestial abode of Lord Indra. It was one of the many treasures that emerged during the churning of the ocean. One day, sage Narad brought a few Pārijāta flowers from Indraloka and gifted them to Krishna. Krishna in turn offered them to Rukmini. Now, Narada, being Narada, immediately went to Satyabhama and told her what happened. As expected, Satyabhama was livid, hurt and jealous. She demanded that Krishna not just give her flowers, but the entire tree. Now, to appease her, Krishna agreed to bring the Pārijāta tree from Indraloka. But this wasn't going to be easy. He had to fight a battle with Indra himself. Of course, Krishna emerged victorious and brought the tree back. Here comes the twist. Krishna planted the tree in Satyabhama's courtyard, but arranged it in such a way that flowers would fall into Rukmini's backyard. A divine way of keeping both queens happy, or at least balanced. But the story doesn't end there. This episode leads to another well-known Leela, the Tulabharam, or the weighing scale episode. Satyabhama now had grown proud, believing that Krishna loved her the most because he had got her the Pārijāta tree. Narad again sowed a seed of doubt by telling her that Rukmini would be actually ruling Krishna's heart. So he proposed a ritual where Satyabhama had to give Krishna away in charity and then buy him back by offering his weight in gold and jewels. Confident, she agreed. But no matter how much wealth she piled on the scale, it wouldn't budge. Eventually, Satyabhama had to swallow her pride and seek Rukmini's help. Rukmini came, simply placed a single tulsi leaf on the scale with full devotion, and instantly the scale balanced. This profound story illustrates that a humble offering made with love and devotion far outweighs all the material wealth. Let's now return to the verse and continue exploring its meaning. Hema simhasanopari Krishna is seated on a majestic throne made of gold. Asinam, he is seated in a calm, poised manner. Ambuda-śyāmam, ambuda means cloud. So, ambuda-śyāmam describes Krishna's skin tone as the deep blue of rain-filled clouds, a poetic and a serene image. We have come across similar phrases like Meghavarna-śyāmam, Megha-śyāmam, etc. in the earlier shlokas. Ayataksham. Ayata means long or wide. Aksha means eyes. So Ayataksham means the long, large, beautiful, expressive eyes of Krishna. Alamkritam meaning well adorned. Krishna is shown decorated with divine ornaments, silks, garlands, perfumes, and sacred markings, all of which he enjoys as he is Alankara Priya, the one who delights in adornment. Chandrananam. His face is radiant and beautiful like the moon, not just in appearance, but in the cool, calming effect it has on devotees. Looking at his face soothes the mind and brings a lot of peace. Chaturbahum. Krishna is described here as having 4 arms. You have seen this before in the line, Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturbhujam. Each arm holds one of the divine emblems. Sri Vatsangita Vakshasam. His chest bears the mark of Sri Vatsa, a special curl of hair symbolic of goddess Lakshmi and the eternal fortune. This mark also reminds us the story involving sage Bhrigu and how it came to be. Rukmani Satya Bhamabhyam Sahitam. He is accompanied by his 2 principal queens, Rukmini and Satyabhama. So, in summary, these 2 verses say, I take refuge in Lord Krishna, the one who sits beneath the Pārijāta tree on a golden throne, who is dark like a rain cloud, whose eyes are wide and beautiful, who is richly adorned, whose face radiates like the moon, who has divine arms, whose chest carries the Sri Vatsa mark, and who is accompanied by Rukmani and Satyabhama. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayana.